these books cover to cover except for this one. What is this? Everybody Poops? Oh, I didn't see you there. My name is Allistair Dylan. I hold PhDs in space and basketball fundamentals with a minor in film history. I've been told that I am uniquely qualified to discuss and debate and defute whether or not various movies are better than the modern classic Space Jam. Today we will be discussing 1994's classic, The Mask. Is it better than Space Jam? Let's find out. 1994's The Mask, directed by Chuck Russell and starring that rubber-faced funnyman James Carey as Stanley Lipkiss. Stanley is a wimpy bank employee who has trouble getting into nightclubs, as well as the ultimate goal of all men, breaching a woman's pants. Unlike Allistair Dylan, who's never had an issue penetrating the walls of an after-hours establishment or woman's heart. This failure incenses Stanley to take a nighttime swim to cool his red-hot urges. While sloshing around in the river, he discovers an old luchador mask. This gives him the great idea to move to Mexico and join an underground wrestling circuit to become the world's champion of lucha libre. Little does Stanley know that this mask is cursed by the ghost of a Tasmanian devil that violently takes hold of Stanley and keeps spinning him around and around. In fact, he becomes so nauseous that his face turns green. Despite the nausea, Stan the Man tries out his new lucha moves by sodomizing two innocent mechanics.
Hold on to your lug nuts, it's time for an overhaul!
The 90s were a different time and sodomy was still funny, I'm sorry. And then he tries to impress one of the Charlie's Angels by robbing a bank and defeating her in a dance competition. Stanley French Kiss accidentally attracts the attention of Zed from Pulp Fiction, who desperately wants to turn him into his new green-faced gimp. A local law enforcer and pajama aficionado is able to identify Stanley by the specific make and model of his pajamas.
Those pajamas were stolen.
Somebody stole your pajamas?
Then in a surprise crossover with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we find out from Ben Stein, of all people, that the mask is in fact an Asgardian relic.
Possibly a representation of one of the Norse night gods. Maybe Loki.
Loki?
After a surprisingly tasteful musical number, Stanley from Kiss ends up double-crossed, with Zed having his own luchador ambition, steals his mask, and turns Stanley into detective pajamas. And then the dog from Frasier shows up and springs Stanley from the hoosegow, which was good for the plot. Then it was a mask versus mask showdown. Luchas de apuestas. At the end of the day, the good guy wins and gets the girl. Boring. Having won the title, Stanley quietly slips away from the world of wrestling and luchador glory into retirement. Oh, everybody does poop. Fancy that. The Mask had a great blend of live action and cartoon effects for its time, and it showed the world that Jim could carry a film on his own, and was a great jumpstart to Cameron Diaz's career, and we're all thankful for that. To quote Paul Stanley from Kiss, somebody's smoking. All in all, Allistair Dylan gives it a solid 3 out of 5 Space Jams. It's not as good as Space Jam, but it tried. This has been Allistair Dylan. Good night, and good poop. Did you think that Space Jam was better than The Mask as I did? If not, don't be afraid to comment in the comments section. And also, leave your picks of what movies Allistair Dylan maybe should or shouldn't review compared to Space Jam. Also, don't be afraid to like, share, and subscribe on the videos. As always, this is Allistair Dylan. And if you don't like my videos, then Kyle will hurt me.